There are opportunities here in the United States, only in the United States. I went to aviation school with a guy from Suriname, and me and him, we were a couple together. And then we have a joke all the time, only in the United States, only in the United States. Everything people doing lawsuit, frivolous lawsuit, this and that, all these things that hinder people from having other opportunities, and then you pay high interest for this and that. We said only in the United States, because when you go outside the United States, there are a lot of crazy things that does not happen.
Entertainment purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.
Welcome to Cash Daddies, we're banking fatties. We hope you had a great July 4th weekend and enjoying the second half of the year. Joining me as always from WeWorks, Johnny Woodard and Ron. And obviously he's, I don't know, he must be a detective from Hawaii, or he's hanging out with dead bodies, called Weekend at Bernie's. My good friend and yours. How we doing? How are you guys?
Good. It was Hawaiian shirt giveaway day, Yankee Stadium yesterday.
You are officially an old man.
Yeah, I know, man.
So hold on. Who's that chick you were with?
Just a friend of mine. She actually works at the place where we do comedy.
Creeper gonna creep, bro. What's Hots think of that?
She was she's trying to pay her extra to get me out of the apartment.
Man.
Yeah, there's a whole crew there. This other girl I know that worked there too. She's got this deal where she'll buy like a $25 1,000th row seat. And somehow, when she gets inside, she can cut and paste. She can find out like who's not in the corporate right behind home plate seats. And she cuts and pastes and does this crazy shit. And next thing you know, we're like sitting behiund home plate. It's amazing.
How does she do that though? Because they check tickets down there, like even just to get into that section. How does she do that?
It's I don't know if it's a software, but she basically takes another ticket somehow and cuts and pastes it, so it says instead of section 401, it'll say 101, and then it'll have the seat and it'll have the barcode and everything.
That's amazing. I mean, that's fraud.
That sounds amazingly shady.
About that on a podcast, but
yeah, I'm going to tell you. Look, man, when you're a real sports fan, you gotta surround yourself with people to get you into that first 5 rows.
Yeah. Sure, I believe that.
Guys, how's your week? It's been a fun, crazy week. I got slammed with the 4th of July going all the way into Tuesday. Yeah. Everything got backed up. Life was crazy. How was your week? What are you guys doing? How finances, all that stuff? Talk to me.
As far as the Patreon goes, we probably had the best week of the year so far. We made over 100% on these Alibaba calls. We banked Devon Energy DVN calls, and today we sold Moderna, up about 80%. Sam, 80% on these Moderna calls. Nice. So it was a good week. It's a wild week, but it was a good week, profitable wise.
Johnny, I know you've been in Vegas.
Well, I'm out here in Vegas watching the fortunes of my NBA team. What would you say? Dissolve before my eyes. Are
you that upset about your draft pick?
Well, I mean, they have an entire team of first rounders, and they're garbage. The whole team. Everybody's talking about how they have the worst. Like even the Hornets people are like, do we have to change this coach out? The coach has no. I mean, he's not running.
Yeah. Well,
everybody's
the biggest problem, Johnny, is that for some reason everyone's like, "Yeah, Jordan wants help, but he's going to stay on for the draft." No. Get out. We don't need you around the draft at all. Because Jordan literally drafts people he thinks he could be easy if he played. Like, he never, ever drafts really good guys.
He
ever.
still owns, and he still owns like almost half the team. So he's going to have a voice either way. But
yeah, I mean, he needs to be kept.
Well, what do you
out.
think? To get this back to business, have you heard this theory that he lost? Because the guy who bought the team is the guy from Melvin Capital who lost billions in this GME thing, and the GameStop. When they did the short squeeze.
Yeah, we've heard of it.
Reddit and everything. Yeah, and all of Jordan's money was with Melvin Capital. So the theory is that Jordan lost shit tons of money and owed this guy, and just that's how he paid him back, was with half of the Charlotte Hornets. Wouldn't that be crazy? Can you imagine?
Yeah, it is.
I've heard the same thing.
Really?
That he lost billions. That Jordan lost billions. Yeah.
And he's broke?
Well, he's not now because he just got. I'm sure he got something out of it, but
how does that guy not lose money too?
He did, and apparently that was part of it. I just kind of cut that out. He had to repay billions to someone that he was essentially working with as an intermediary, but he was able to do it, because he's a hedge fund manager. They're always going to get right at some point. But Jordan is not, and apparently was deep into this GameStop short. I can't believe that, but that's, I've seen that in several places. I'm not sure if it's true at all, but fascinating.
Heard that.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. And it's just, who knows? But the point is, you guys can't draft. Back to life. I wanted to get into something. I am hearing, and I'd love to hear your guys' take on this, that in some point in August, that the BRICS people are going to make an announcement that it's going to be officially launched. Do you guys worry about what happens to the U.S. dollar?
You're talking about the BRICS currency?
Yep. Which is basically them pulling themselves out of the fractional reserve banking, right? Am I wrong on that? I think that's what that means. They're no longer part of the whole IMF and all that stuff that has been just basically annihilating these countries that don't play ball with the powers that be.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see how it's going to happen. I just don't see the dollar going anywhere for years and years. India and China, both of them, they need us more than any time, because those economies have taken just a beat down. Didn't we send somebody over to China yesterday, the day before?
Janet Yellen, was there.
Yeah, Yellen went over. So.
Oh, yeah. Did you see her bowing all the time? Like one of those water things. She literally looked like one of those water things.
It's like somebody who's never been to Asia before, and they just bow at everybody.
Yeah, and now they were talking about how she bowed too much, and it was disrespectful. And by the way, do you see how short she is compared to the other the Chinese dude?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Oh, by the way, guys, quick shout out. We lost a hero today, Mr. Pat Park, who's one of the Koreans on top of the liquor stores in the ride, and King Rides just passed. So rest in power, Mr. Park. Yeah. We will miss you long time.
I thought you were sincere for a second.
I am sincere. That guy was an American hero, bro.
What did he do?
He's one of the Koreans got on top of their liquor store with a gun and was picking people off that tried to break into his liquor store.
God bless you, Sam.
They were called rooftop Koreans.
Wow.
Oh, you didn't know about the rooftop Koreans?
The footage of that is great too. If you ever watch the footage, it's beautiful.
So that's it. So Howie, you have no concern about this?
No, not right now. I don't. I think everything I've read about it says it's years and years away, and I just don't see how these countries can do it right now. Financially, India and China, their economies are struggling right now. So I don't think it's an immediate concern. I just don't. What is it
it's
like?
also curious how
countries?
South Africa slipped in there. It's
Yeah, that one's confusing to me too. Like, okay, China, Iran, whatever, India.
North Korea, I think, is probably in there as well.
Yeah, it's like how the hell did South Africa end up in this one?
Howie, I was told, and then we'll get into some stories until our guests show up.
The guest is here, by the way.
Okay, do you want to bring him in?
It's up to you, sir.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's bring the guest in, and we'll get back to some stories. Hey, guys, I want to talk to you about our good friend James McMahon at Copy My Crypto. Guys, we've seen so many people make ridiculous money from crypto, but did you know it's easy for you to do the same? That's right. The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the coins that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy them. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest, as you simply do what he does. So let me tell you about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship has over 26,000 subscribers. Since March 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put $100 into each, it'd be well worth over $123,000.
Wow.
Of the 26 coins, his top pick coin called Phantom went up 692 times from when he said. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify this yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members at Copy James, then stop what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's SAM. Okay. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but my listeners will get full access for just $1. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/Sam. The recession is here. You can suffer like everyone else or choose to thrive. James is the real deal. Go visit the site now. All right, everybody. We're very excited to bring in our next guest. This guy has an amazing story, his journey from Haiti, and now he's here. He's running a very successful business, and we're very honored to have the CEO on. Please welcome Nathan Vincent. How are you, sir?
I am doing well, except that I have something in the front of me. I don't know if that should be there. Hold on for 1 second. The account owner can watch this recording. Would it disappear or?
We're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Everything's good. We're perfect right now. Couldn't be better. You're coming in great.
Okay, wonderful. I am doing well, and thanks again for inviting me. It is a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. And amazingly, I am here to answer your questions, and they are going to be as honest as possible.
I love it. So, what's up with white women? Now, here's my question. I would love to talk to you, Mr. Vincent, about your journey. So, for some of our listeners who aren't familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
1 second. Very good. I had something that I had to do to remove from your face. They can find me at Beauté, which is a French word. BEAUTE DELUNE.
Okay.
Beauté de Lune .net, not .com.
Yeah.
.net.
I love the .nets.
Yes, .net. And we are located in a great West Palm Beach, Florida. And that's a place, I call it. It's an amazing place.
Yeah, you live in a wonderful place for sure. Florida is great.
Yes.
The weather might be a little touchy-feely right now, but it is a blessing to be in South Florida. So, sir, could you tell us, and by the way, his website, everything If you guys want to find out more, the links are in the description below. Tell us a little bit about your journey, sir.
My journey, it's an interesting one. I have raised from a family of 11.
Damn.
Yes. And where I from, on a poor country, where the opportunity and the hope were very, very slim for you to succeed. And the finding myself as a young, I could say I was about 12 years old, going to school, and then seeing visitors coming near where I live, where I was walking about 4 miles to school. It's every morning and every afternoon. The clothes that's on your back sometimes is wet going to school. So the opportunity of somebody living here, please don't take it for granted. You are living in a paradise. So my parents, sometimes you don't have the time to have breakfast because you have to walk that 4 miles. If it's not ready, you go without. At midday, you have something for lunch, but if you have the money. When I said if you have the money, I'm talking a poor country where there are certain things you dare not to have. But you will go to school and you will learn and you have to pass. Otherwise, your parents will give you so many lashes because they work so hard and you fail in school. So you literally on a pedestal. So from there, I see visitors like you, guys that look exactly like you.
Oh, no.
Men and women that visited my country, and on the way to school, they would roll out their windows and throw out money because we have uniforms and we look somewhat okay. Everybody kind of rhyme together, same uniform. And then sometimes we wave, sometimes we dance for them, we wave and things like that. And then when they send the money, I said, US dollar, I would love to go to that country. I would want to be a visitor one day to somebody else's country. Since then, I have the dream of coming to the land of money. And the land of money, I didn't think of the visitors come from Norway. I didn't think if they come from Russia or Ukraine or anywhere. The only thing I know, I received green dollar. I want to come to the United States of America.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you make your way here. What age was that?
I make my way here at 22. And I made many, many attempts before.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't work out. I received many. I went to the U.S. Embassy in the capital. Every time I go, they refuse. And then one day, I get on board of a boat. And I said, one way to another, I will get to United States of America, the land of money. I want to see the green. It was my only passion. Okay? And then the voyage was very lengthy. It was very long. I almost lose my life when we get to Nassau. There was somewhat tornado, and then the boat almost capsized.
Oh my God.
We cried to God. I mean, it was an amazing, amazing journey. We spent about 20 plus days.
Wow.
And sometime I remember one day I went to the deck and I opened both of my arms and I made a promise to God. I said, God, sorry if I get emotional because it's little, I'm reliving what happened.
We're good with it.
I said, God, if you made me rich, the land of money, I will give the rest of my life to you. And after I made that prayer, and then the sea was very calm. And we continue. And as I was coming, I saw an abundance of light, things that I have never seen before. I'm not creating a drama for you guys, but living in a poor country, the abundance of light we have here in the United States, it's never seen before. And I've seen the light. I'm dancing. Everybody was seeing the light. And then the boat engine went dead.
Oh my.
And it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like not all hope were lost, but it was such a deception. In about 8 or 9 o'clock, because I have to try to make it short, I couldn't give you all the detail. And about 8 or 9 o'clock, the Coast Guard came. And it's like a savior. They throw us a life jacket, and then they came on board, they talked to us. We all were legal on the boat because we have passport, we that have visa and things like that. So how do you use that word? They remote, or they towed the boat.
They towed the boat.
Thank you. They towed the boat to Fort Lauderdale. I didn't know it was Fort Lauderdale then. They towed it to Fort Lauderdale port, and then there we were able to see the land, but we couldn't even get out of the boat because we're not assigned yet with custom. It was an amazing story. And
it is amazing.
Day, yes, but we were able to do all the legal steps, and they let me into the land of money.
Respect.
That's how I got here. I could give you more detail, but
no, it's great, man. That was a great story.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate
it. What was your first job in
America? So you get here. So basically, like, where did you go? I mean, like, how do you get your first job? What, like, you're here, what do you do?
My first job was at Pompano Fashion Square Mall. I worked in a Chinese restaurant cooking fried rice with 2 hands. And that was my first job. I worked 11 hours a day, 6 days a week. And even on Sunday after I come from church, and I get paid $250. That's why I can't name the business name, because for me at that time, it was an opportunity.
Yeah.
But that's how it gets started. But I did it. I worked 6 days, 11 hours, 12 hours. And on Sunday after church, I got to go work another 4-6 hours. But that was the assignment.
That's amazing. So you get here. Is there a place that you go to live? Do they allow you to live, or are they like, good luck, and they just let you into the world?
To the land of money, you need to say.
To the land of money.
Because that's all that was in my head. From Haiti to here, I'm coming to the land of money. Therefore, I live with my aunt, and I live in her living room because she used to live in 1-bedroom apartment in Cypress Creek area. If anybody who knows the area, or you can Google it. And she lived there in 1-bedroom apartment, and I was fortunate enough she let me live because I did not like Miami. I landed in somewhat near Miami. I have a brother there, but I wanted to live with my aunt, and she welcomed me, and I stayed in her living room.
That's amazing. So Nathan, you're obviously been here for a couple of years now, for a while now. You've established your business. You keep talking about the land of money. First of all, there seems to be this movement within people that in this country that have been here for a very long time to only look at the negative of America. And I make no illusions of that. There is darkness in this America. Some of our policies have done, unspeakable things to Haiti. But when you get here, like what about the land of money that inspired you to do what you did? Like, is there opportunity here that you would never have anywhere else?
You said it right. I don't want to remove anything on what the last sentence you made. There are opportunities here in the United States, only in the United States. I went to aviation school with a guy from Suriname, and me and him, we were a couple together. And then we have a joke all the time, only in the United States, only in the United States. Everything people doing lawsuit, frivolous lawsuit, this and that, all these things that hinder people from having other opportunities, and then you pay high insurance for this and that. We said only in the United States, because when you go outside the United States, there are a lot of crazy things that does not happen. But one thing I always say, the opportunity for me was, I went to a school, this school was free. And I learned English with wage. Even today, I don't speak the fine English. I don't speak the good English. But I am audacious enough to be able to speak to you like I'm speaking English. But please accept my accent, accept my English.
You're doing great, man.
Yes. So I went to school to learn English. That step of learning English start opening doors for me. And then I do the best I could to obey the law. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are an immigrant, if you are anybody else, you need to do those two things first. Educate yourself and obey the law. Because this great country, the frame to which that put this country together, it is well done. One way or another, and you will get cut. The law will get cut with you. It will meet you somewhere. So go to school, learn the culture, learn the trick, obey the law, and then educate yourself. Go to school, learn English is not educate yourself. Then later, after you learn some English, then you can go to a secondary school or whatever school, professional school, college, university, anything you can. Learn a trade. Be unstoppable. Learn. Then there will be a chair waiting for you after you learn. There will be a seat that you earn by educating yourself that will be waiting for you. And there would be a door that would be open for you without you touching it. So educate yourself, learn English, respect the law, and then the curveball life will throw at you along the way. You're tough enough to withstand what's coming your way. But this is one of an amazing country. Only here the opportunity could be so big.
Well, I love that. And, I was born here, but I really resonate. It really resonates with what you're talking about. And for me, what you're talking about is learning to play what I call the game of life.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people out there that have no clue how to play the game of life. And the way you succeed in life is not by trying to change the game, but by beating the game. And you beat the game by playing the game better than anybody else is playing the game. And, you know, these things that you're talking about basic things like getting an education and not breaking the law. I mean, I have this theory that the universe warns you and then it shows you. And if you don't hear the warnings, the universe will show you. And sometimes it's this little slap on the wrist, and sometimes it's way, way worse. But you have to learn how to play the game of life. And, you know, I have daughters, they're 3 years old, and I'm trying to instill in them already this game of what is the game? What's the game between
you know that there's something you're saying. I want people to get it. You say the game of life many times, but many people don't understand life is a game. It's not a battle. It's not a battle. It's a game. You need to learn to play the game of life. You say that so many times. So you need to really, really, really point on that. It's a show by itself, the game of life and how to tackle it. So I'm glad that I hear it loud and clear. And thank you very much for bring it back to me.
Thank you, Nathan. I really do appreciate that. So here you are. You're working in this restaurant. I'm by no means trying to equivalent what you've done with what I did. But when I moved to LA to chase my dreams, I worked every day at 2 different jobs, sometimes back-to-back shifts, just to be able to make make ends meet. And that's kind of what happens. Like, you have to make sacrifice. So I remember the day I got to quit my day job so I could become a full-time stand-up comic. Mm-hmm. It was a very big deal to me. But when you're working these jobs, at what point did you go, I want to have my own business and do it and be my own boss? What was that process?
Well, on my first job, I worked there for a year, and I didn't have opportunities to go to school. And I know I was better than what I was doing, but there have to be a starting point.
Yes.
So I did it for a year. And then after that, I quit the job without a hope of another job. But I said, I'm going to do more school, less work, because I was single. I didn't have any kids. So therefore, my shoulder was kind of not too heavy for me to go about learn English to get into the system. So once I done that, and then I was in Pompano. Now, a year later, I moved to West Palm because my very, very first girlfriend was, you have to laugh at that one, was a blonde from West Virginia. And I couldn't even express myself to her. She said, squeeze me. And I don't know what squeeze me is. And she laughed at me. I laughed at her. And then it was very good chemistry. I said, no, I need to learn English. So by learning English, it allowed me to move on and then going to many other jobs and many other jobs, including cooking or Hilton hotels. I mean, you name it. Then I'm going to work with a big company, which is Palm Beach Newspapers, Inc. I work for them as a supervisor, but on a level where it's not a career, okay? Then that's the time I'm going to quit Palm Beach Post also and go into aviation school to become an aircraft engineer and also become a pilot. Not a commercial pilot, but just to get the feel of it. I have about 75 to 80 hours of Cessna 152, 172 up to so far I can fly those. And and then from there, many other things going to happen. And then I'm going to also leave aviation after I order Tony Robbins' motivational guide, to which that I like. I'm going to listen to him a lot. And he says, there are many ways you can be successful in life. It's either through business or you were fortunate enough to be one of those 500 fortune cookies CEO, get a lot of bonus and so on and so forth. And I said, okay, so my way have to be business. So I was working with Paradise Island Airline. I work on finance, and in Miami, I work with Florida Aviation on freelancing. Then I quit all of them and I opened a small business. June 15, 1998. And it's just been a quarter of a century. And from that business, I opened other business and I become so crazily, what word should I use on that?
Rich?
No, you don't get
successful, happy.
I would say happy, and but when I say happy, bear in mind, you would lose your private life. It's going to be affected. Your social life would be affected. Your friendship would be affected. People would be depending on you for all kind of support. You know, institution will be depending on you. NGOs will be depending on you. Be ready to work hard. Your perseverance has to be the key. You have to be consistent. You have to endure. There are times I slept in the business. I called my wife. I said, honey, it's midnight. I'm so tired. I'm 35 miles away from the business. I won't be able to drive home. I'm sleeping in the business. And I did, you know. So therefore, there are many challenges that come to you. But the end result is winning for both you and your client, you and your people, you and your friends, you and your community, you know. And win is happiness all the way.
Yes, it sounds like you play the game. That's the key to everything. And I just in this show, we just can't help but this whole show is about people taking control of their lives and their finances, whether it's through investment or starting their own business. What was the biggest lesson you learned about starting your own business?
It was extremely hard. That's why I call it the perseverance, the consistency, what you endure. It was extremely hard. But bear in mind, I tell you, you have to have consistency. You have to persevere. Because you do not receive a crown at the beginning of the relay. You receive it at the end of the relay. When you break the ribbon, when you finish the relay. So some people expect to have joy, to have fun when they begin a journey. It's not going to be like that. That's why I said your private life will be affected, your social life will be affected, your friendship will be affected, everything will be affected. But you focus, you concentrate, and then at the end, even heaven is fighting for you. You can't lose.
Was there any moment where you were worried that maybe this isn't going to go the way you wanted it to?
Yes,
and if
many
so,
times.
What kept you going?
And imagine to start a business where I started with a grocery store. I have no client, and I have a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables in my hands. And at the end of the week, you throw them away, and you have to buy fresh ones. The creditors are calling me. I can't answer the phone. The credit card company calling me. Even if I get home at 10 o'clock night, it was a landline. They called my house. Okay? I didn't answer the phone. They left messages. I can hear the message when they're leaving the message. But through honesty and strategy, you start paying them one by one as the years goes by. You start paying them one by one as the year go by. And then to regain yourself. And from that, I create a debt-free business for 25 years after I pay all my creditors. As I'm talking to you, I'm sitting inside my business. You can see sometimes my hand go like this. I'm directing traffic. Because
great.
people come to a window in front of me. I didn't have the luxury of an office where people can see me. I'm surrounded with glass. people, I'm just still directing traffic. So
Yeah.
I'm still at it.
I love it.
25 years later, I'm
I
still
love
at
it.
it.
I think it's amazing. We won't keep you much longer because it seems like you're in the middle of it. But so you started with a store, and then did you get now? Do you do skincare, or what are you doing now?
Yes, I did the skincare. Sorry about my phone.
No,
I
hey,
did.
it's all good, man.
Yeah, through the business, I have created many other layers. I have given 47 distinctive trophies to philanthropists, people in our community, in our society, in all walk of life that done things to deserve to be honored. I have honored 47 people in our culture and community. I have created other avenue for other people because I have to give back. I keep going back to my country and give to charity. This is something I must do because when I can't go, it's the pain. Right now, this year I haven't go. It hurt because I know how many people that waiting for me, how many people that suffering. To whom much is giving, to whom much is expected. Therefore, yes. So there are many layers. To the skincare product, I was a vice president of another company. I worked for them for about 6 to 7 years. I've learned a lot from them. But the promise that was made to me did not happen. I did not get paid as the vice president. It was just a name. And over the years, I didn't receive no checks. And then that's when Bote de Lune is going to take place to a phone call from Paris from somebody who says, I understand who you are. I know who you are, but you don't know who we are. We want you. We want you badly. And we will pay whatever it is for you to come on board with us. And that's how Bote de Lune was created.
That's amazing. You're amazing. Nathan, you're great. Nathan, final question for you, and then we'll let you go. If you could give one bit of advice to someone who is just financially not happy with their life, not happy where they are, and they want to change their life, they don't know what they want to do, but they know that they don't want to continue down this path. What is your final, like, what is one thing you could tell them to pick themselves up and go down a new path?
The first thing is to get on your knees and go to your creator, to which that created you, and ask him to open the light of your heart, the light of your mind, and help you to see what you must done. He will tell you. As you start feeling the warmth of the idea that he puts in your head, and it will be repeated many times. You can only bless by what you touch. You're not going to receive blessing by looking at the sky. You have to touch something. What you touch, you will be blessed by. If I grab this on my desk, it says, give God the glory in all that you do and watch him do great things for you. That is on my desk all the time.
Give God the glory.
I have another one that says, sorry to bother you, to bore you. The task ahead of you is never as great as the power behind you. You are a source of power. You can communicate to any living things on earth. You are a creator yourself. You have the power within you to touch anything and make it illuminated. You just have to have the faith in you, the confidence in you, the pursuit in what you want to pursue. And the deliverance is very near.
Nathan, thank you so much for that. That was awesome. Go with God, brother. I respect that. That's how I live my life right now. I'm trying the best I can. And this has been a wonderful interview. If you want to hear more from Nathan, all of his links are below in the description. And we just want to thank you one more time, Nathan, for joining us. And we look forward to hopefully having you back on the show sometime.
I don't have enough word to thank you for such great opportunity. and may God be the glory.
May
Thank you
God
very,
be the
very,
glory.
very much. And thank you to all your listeners that give me the privilege of listening. Thank you to the other brother that is next to you, to which that I said, thank you. Thank you for your smile.
Thank you, brother. We love you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And we
I
will
love you
talk to you soon.
likewise.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Nathan. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Oh, snap. All right. We're back. Johnny's doing funny jokes, everybody. We're back. Thank you, Nathan, for that amazing interview. We loved it, and we're blessed to have you on, and we look forward to having you back. All right. So let's get back to a couple more stories before Howie gives us his final pick of the week, and we go over to the lucrative Patreon. Johnny, you got any stories for us?
Yeah, a couple of things here. The president, Joe Biden, is getting a lot of pushback from automakers. Joe Biden has said that I'm trying to find the year, by 2032, he wants 2/3 of new vehicle sales to be electric. And all of the automakers have come out and said it's just not feasible. We don't have the infrastructure. And by that, I mean, he means the charging. They mean the charging infrastructure. If you go now, even the chargers in my neighborhood, because most people are going to be buying these in apartments. Apartments don't have. I mean, if they have, most people are parking on the street, especially in places like LA, and that means they're going to rely on public charging. And in my neighborhood, the public charging is just. I mean, it's already at
it's just
a breaking
ridiculous.
point.
And by the way, I love that Biden is trying to get everybody called Bidenomics. Biden economics or Biden.
Yeah,
it's like he just kept saying it over and over again.
Yeah.
Biden economics.
That's not how that works, by the way. Reagan didn't start going around saying Reaganomics. Other people say that when you actually have a system.
It's like when Carlos
like
Mencia named himself the Punisher, and Joe Rogan's like, you don't give yourself your own nickname.
That's it, man. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, so he's pushing for this rule, like I said, that would require by 2032 for 2/3 of new vehicle sales to be electric. Now, I don't know how how do you require that for what gets sold is based on what people want. It doesn't make any sense in America, in this system we have. I mean, that's socialism. So I don't know. What do you think, Howie? Do you think that this is there's any chance?
Years and years away from having an infrastructure for this stuff.
Which, I mean, 2032 is years and years away. But
yeah, but I read, this is a while ago, I read where, it would be feasible in 15, 20 years from now. But, I mean, these car makers, they know the deal. You can't just toss off a million electric cars and that's it. There you go, guys. Good luck charging it,
That's it. Yeah. And I think what you're going to find is more and more people getting frustrated as they have difficulty charging in their neighborhoods, especially people without now what they've done to combat this. I will say the government is giving a little bit like tax breaks and maybe even a little cash to get chargers installed with new car purchases in home. I think maybe in used electric car purchases, you can get some cash to kind of offset the cost of installing an electric charger. But I know at my building I wouldn't be able to do that because of homeowners association bullshit. They just wouldn't. It would require so much pain in the ass paperwork to even get it heard, and then they'd probably say no because they don't like anything forward thinking.
Then you have the other question: how is it going to affect the overall electric grid? I mean,
yeah, of course, yeah.
Is that going to be a factor? Because I know in New York City, when you have 5 or 6 days where it's up around 100 degrees, people start getting nervous because that's when you get your blackouts. That's when the lights go out, air conditioning goes out.
I don't know how you still live in New York City. I just don't get it. It just seems like chaos. I know I live in LA, so you could say the same thing, but it just seems like people on top of each other. And your mayor, as awful as our mayor is, she's been pretty quiet lately, right? I mean, when was the last time you heard anything about Bass? Anything?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you don't hear anything. But man, your one is just spewing stupid left and right, bro.
Is he better than De Blasio? 100%. Has he done any?
That is not saying much.
Has he done anything yet? No, he hasn't done anything. I mean, he does he's like any politician. I don't know. I think they're all the same, but no shit. Our police commissioner quit after what, 6 months on the job or something.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
That's so fun.
I don't know. You know what? I will say this. There's some good left in the world because yesterday I got a chance. There's nothing in the world like going to Yankee Stadium and sitting with the bleacher creatures. And there's a reason they call these dudes creatures. These guys, I sat with a crew yesterday. They've been bleacher creatures 10, 15, 20. One guy that sat in the back, his name's Face. A little rough in the face, so they named him Face.
What the fuck?
Right.
rough
Your
in
nickname
the
is
face.
always the opposite of what you are. Like Tiny's always a fat guy.
Yeah.
Big is always
He's a little rough in the face, though. What is
What does that mean?
His name's Face. And he came in yesterday. Face, a legend. Face, he's been a bleacher creature since 1983. And, we brought in a reliever too early yesterday, blew a 4-1 lead, and this dude stood up, and he's got a name for our manager, Aaron Boone. He calls him Boone Dick. And he just starts yelling, Boone Dick, Boone Dick. And I would say every impolitical word I have ever heard in my life came out in the bleachers yesterday within 2 hours. I mean, stuff you just wouldn't believe. You just can't say anymore. It was being said. And, you got 1,000 bleacher creatures right there, and they're all on board. But it was good. It was just good to see that. Nobody gave a shit about anything. People were just having a blast, and it was hilarious, man.
We're still tracking more fallout from this Bud Light bullshit too. What is this company called? RDoC Group. It's a global glass producer. They've announced that they're shutting doors on 2 glass bottling plants, one in North Carolina and another in Louisiana. You got about 700 employees out of jobs there, and there've been stories like this in the past. Is it going to end up, Howie? And this is something I heard debated on Twitter by a few people this week. Is it going to end up that this boycott hurts working like blue collar people who lose their jobs more than it actually ends up hurting InBev and Anheuser-Busch?
Oh yeah, they already close couple, right?
Yeah, it's the story. Yeah,
you said it, Johnny. Of course it is. Yeah, it's just going to hurt people that are working there more than anything. I mean, that's what it's going to hurt. If you work in a local plant in America, that produces Bud Light, there are going to be layoffs.
Yeah, it sucks, bro.
Not good.
Not
and
good
you hear
at
a lot
all.
about layoffs right now. You hear a lot about strikes. I mean, UPS is threatening to go on strike. If they did, that would be catastrophic for that company.
That'd be a nightmare. Another thing that's going to hurt working class people is I'm starting to see more and more now of these stores where they don't have cashiers. They're popping up everywhere where you just take what you want and then it's somehow connected to your Amazon account or whatever, and you walk out.
Oh yeah, well, dude,
here.
If you go to the airport, you put your credit card in, and then you walk around and you grab your products, and as soon as you walk out, you get charged for it.
That's the future. Think about all those jobs. Cashier jobs those are, we already lost.
They're already getting rid of them, dude. They're already getting rid of them. I think 10, 20 years, we're going to be facing a crisis of like what to do with everybody who can't. There's just no job for them. There's not enough jobs. Well, my question is okay, so you're going to get rid of all the cashier jobs. You're going to get rid of all these jobs. Who do you think's going to buy anything? Like that's my whole thing about like free trade. These dumbasses who are like, we gotta do it, man. That's how they keep the prices down. Like people act like before the 80s that everything was $1 bazillion. The reason everybody could buy stuff is because everybody had jobs.
You know what I think they're angling for, Sam? I think they're angling for universal basic income because that's the natural next step for them.
That's socialism. That's the death. That is the death of creativity. That's the death of just upward mobility. That is the death of all of it.
Yeah, we're a ways from that. I mean, as long as you have a little bit of greed out there, you can keep,
No, the greed is why we're doing this.
Capitalism. But yeah, it's not good. I mean, you don't want to see, you don't like to see people losing jobs. I think there's always going to be, you're always going to be in need of plumbing, electrical work. Those are jobs like I would tell a kid today, like, listen, man, you can learn a trade and open up a business. I think that's going to be a huge demand in the future. I mean, people just don't go into that anymore, and you're always going to need a plumber or electrician. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, until they can create a robot that just comes around to your house, which when you consider AI, I mean, that might be 50 years away, the AI robot electrician that pops around.
And it's also coming. Gets into the fact that, fuck, I can't remember my point. I lost it in my head. It's gone.
Well, I had one other interesting thing. Randall Stevenson, the former CEO of AT&T, resigned from the board of the PGA Tour this week, saying he could not, in good conscience, support them being bought, like we said, by Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So this is just going to happen. I kept waiting for some other shoe to drop, but it seemed. I mean, this indicates it's real. It's real. I mean, this is done. Isn't that? It's incredible. What's next? What's the next step to this? I mean,
well, dude, I'm waiting for them to just start their own NBA. I'm dead serious. Like,
if they did,
what is stopping them from starting their own NBA?
They could start their own NFL, NBA, Major League. Listen, they could buy out. They could buy out our leagues in a day.
Yeah, I think we're lucky that they don't give a shit about football and baseball, really. But basketball, dude. They could come for basketball in a heartbeat, man, and really just
buy the whole NBA out.
Like one of these rich Chinese guys or something, just wanted to, or the government even of China.
Yeah, just buy us out, and just all these rich Chinese guys just peeing in the Coke everywhere.
I mean, that's what they did. They bought horse racing. Saudi Arabians, they bought the whole entire.
Yeah. I mean,
really? I don't know about that. What is that?
You didn't know that, dude?
No, I don't watch thoroughbred stuff, dude.
Yeah, they own basically 90% of all the good thoroughbreds out there. I mean, they
own the horses. I got you. I thought you meant they bought the tracks.
Well, I wonder. I mean, Churchill Downs is a publicly traded company, but I bet you these guys have their fingers in all this shit.
I know. And then one last little story here I just wanted to hit because I know we're running out of time. This is just funny. Sarah Silverman is suing Meta and OpenAI for training AI models on her book. Comedian Sarah Silverman has teamed up with two novelists to bring a potentially groundbreaking case against Meta and OpenAI, alleging that their copyrighted material was used to train chatbots without their permission. Now, what does that even mean? Well, anything that's on the internet, essentially, has been crawled by these chatbots, all the words just sucked up, used, and then used to train these AIs on what. But I mean, first of all, they take all the information, so potential answers to questions. Then they take all the syntax, the sentence, the sentence structure, the acts, the ways of speaking, weird like slang shit. All of that just gets sucked up from everything on the internet, and then it. With its brain, the AI brain, it's called, what do they call them? Large language models, I think is what they're called. It kind of reconfigures it and then spits it back out in answers to you that make it seem intelligent. But it's all based on shit from people. It's just reconfigured.
Okay, but so what is her lawsuit?
Her lawsuit is that she never gave them permission to suck up all of her book or whatever, you know what I mean? Which I guess we got pulled in the chat GPT.
I don't understand what the lawsuit is.
Imagine say, okay, your comedy special, right? Chat GPT took it into, all the words and then started, when somebody asked it, like, hey, could you write me a joke in the style of like a sort of a grungy kind of Armo comic? And then it spits out a joke that's very similar to one of your jokes because it ingested your special. Is that copyright infringement? It's hard to say.
That's very interesting. I would have to see the instances of her book and what Chat GPT does with it. So, I mean, if she's talking about copyright infringement, like which is basically getting what's that called when you do that?
Fair
what
use,
is it called?
fair use.
Not fair use, but when you get accused of
Plagiarism?
plagiarism. If it's plagiarism, that's one thing.
Well, they're
But if
saying it's
she's saying
copyright.
I'm mad that they use my book to learn how to basically articulate stuff, I don't understand the lawsuit.
Here's what they're saying in the lawsuit. ChatGPT is not just an infringement of authors' rights, whether they aim to or not. Models such as this will eliminate author as a viable career path. That's what they're saying. Because eventually these AI are going to be able to spit out. Like I asked one the other day to write me a treatment for a potential next, like an 8th season of The Sopranos, just to see and it came up with something that was kind of reasonable for an 8th season of The Sopranos. It was like Tony was dead, and then it was about his family dealing with the fallout of Tony Soprano being dead. And imagine that future is very, very possible, unless we
that's what
decide right now to
the
limit
big part of this strike.
Yeah, and it's
right?
not there yet. It's not there yet, and that's how ChatGPT is defending it by saying it's not there yet. But it will be. It absolutely will be. So I don't know, man. It's super.
Well,
it's super unnerving, I would say.
Speaking of robots, what do you think, Sam? Threads or Twitter? Which is better?
It's not even close. It's Twitter all the way, and it's just ridiculous. Like he's just manipulating stuff. He's like, "Oh my God, 50 million people signed up." No, they were just Instagram users who claimed their threads. Threads. I have no interest. I claim my name just so nobody else is Sam Tripoli, but I have no desire to be on it.
Yeah, I did that same thing, but apparently, if nobody can take your name if you have it on Instagram.
Yep, we're screwed. We're all screwed. So
it's going to be interesting because I listened to some analysts today, and they said that if Zuckerberg puts a solid team together, that they wouldn't be surprised if Threads ends up kicking the shit out of Twitter.
Well, just so you know, that Mark Zuckerberg, depending on who you talk to, hasn't created anything that worked. He was given Facebook because it was called LifeLog before that, and everything he's ever had successful after that, he had to buy. And he basically he got all the old employees of Twitter to come over there and recreate Twitter as Threads. So we'll see how he does after that. He's a giant piece of shit.
I believe it. I'm not sticking up for the guy. I don't like the guy. But
sounds like you're sticking up for him.
No.
Yeah, what is he, your boyfriend, Howie? Come on, dude.
If you had bought Meta January 2nd, you would have almost tripled your money by now. No stock has performed better this year than Meta. And
damn,
the guy's got billions in cash. You say what you want about him. The guy knows how to run a company. I don't necessarily like him, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
You know what it is, honestly, dude. He doesn't know how to run a company. Facebook is a front for U.S. government. Fucking branch of the U.S. government. It's a data collection service that was called LifeLog. That was just like Amazon is an extension of the U.S. government, which was started by DARPA. Jeff Bezos' grandpa started DARPA and gave him the program, and he just ran with it. So, anyways, I am anti all of it.
What about Twitter? The one consensus everyone I think agrees on is that Elon really hasn't done shit since taking over the company. He hasn't done anything. Hasn't done anything positive. And
his biggest problem is that the powers that be do not want him to do jack shit. And he still has all these other companies he wants to do business with these people. So I think he's moving slowly. I keep hearing about did you hear that they said that Theo Vaughn's podcast with Roseanne Barr got 80 million views, but is that real views or is that just people scroll by it?
Who knows?
Yeah, that makes
it's this rare, it's this convergence of where, and it's not often this happens, but it's it's for the benefit of Twitter and for Theo for them to lie about the numbers. You know what I mean? So it's whenever that's the case, you can't trust it.
True. Absolutely.
That's it for us, guys. Howie, what do you got picks this week, brother?
I got one pick of the week. We've been on a roll lately. Morgan Stanley. We bought and sold this a few times in the past. Symbols MS, trading at $83.43. I think this baby pumps up to the high 80s fairly quickly, like a lot.
Right.
Thanks.
On. All right.
Hey.
Sam, take us over to the Patreon. Patreon.com.
Guys, come bang with the bangers. Hang with the hangers. Bang and hang, dog. Get it going. Come to the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Cash Daddies and get it going.